Hello, and welcome to Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. If you are not getting the results you are looking for from your digital marketing efforts, this is the podcast for you. And now, here's the host of our show, the local business guy himself, Frank Deming.
Hello, everyone. This is Frank Deming, the local business guy, and welcome to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. Today, I want to talk to you about a very special topic, something that I made mention to on a previous episode when we were talking about SEO. But I said maybe at some other point I will make a episode solely touching on that. So here it is. This is what I'm going to be doing, and that is featured snippets. So for those of you who don't know what featured snippets are, they are, those first box of that pops up in a Google search just above the rank results. They have like little images, something that provides information and answers, or answers of a question that you may have on Google. Mostly with common questions that usually come up with. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like little answer boxes. Those are called featured snippets, and it's a very powerful SEO strategy. And today I'm going to talk to you about 5 tips on how to land those featured snippets on a search. But before we get into all of that, I just want to take care of a couple of things here, some housekeeping things. And the number one thing I want to talk to you about today is if you have any topic ideas, anything that you yourself are maybe struggling with when it comes to any strategy that we've talked about on this podcast, or maybe it's something that you've heard on a networking event, or you maybe seen on the YouTube channel or something like that, and you're struggling with it, and you don't know how to do it, and you would like an episode done on it, dedicated to it, just give us a call. We can be reached at 888-416-7752. Or you can send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com. Also, if you want to be a guest on our show, maybe there's something that you're selling. Maybe there's something that you would like to promote. Maybe you're opening a new store and you would like people to know about it, or something like that. Doesn't even matter what it is, but you want to be a guest on our show, give us a call. 888-416-7752, or send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com, and someone will get together with you and schedule something where we can put you on the show and feature you on the show. All right, last little tidbit before we get into the topic of conversation today. If you have been thinking about starting a podcast, I want you guys to really consider using a tool like Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is awesome. I can't say enough about them. They give you so many tools to make your podcast a success. It makes it a no-brainer. And the beauty of it is that, like I said, they've helped over 100,000 people successfully launch and promote their podcast. That's over 100,000 people. And so they know what they're doing. They have everything set for you. They have their own little, you can have your own website with them. And if you don't have a website for yourself, if you already have a website, they can even give you a nice slick looking player that's customizable to your colors that goes into your website. So it makes it really simple. So the beauty of it is, if you were to click on the link on the show notes right now, they're actually going to give you click on the link and actually, maybe give them a try. They're going to give you a $25 gift card from Amazon. And this is just a way for them to say thank you for giving them a shot, and it also lets them know that we sent you. So Buzzsprout, the absolute easy way to start a podcast. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys, let's get into the nitty gritty of today's rocking episode. Like I said, it's 5 tips to landing featured snippets on a search. Very, very, very important stuff, okay? The goal of any legitimate SEO strategy, basically, guys, is to funnel more traffic to your website, period. I don't think I have to say that. But instead of seeking to rank high on the first page of, say, Google or anything like that, which is basically important in its own right, today I am going to go over 5 tips of landing featured snippets on your search. So that's going to be different type of traffic, okay? And like I said, a featured snippets are those little snippet of they have little pictures and and maybe the answer is a question right there that you don't even have to go deep. Some people click through just to get some more information on it. But they usually have like 3 or 4 laid across the top on a search. And it's usually pretty high up there on the search engines. And it's just another way of getting more traffic. Okay. I am going to answer a question that someone asked the last time that this was one of the steps that I gave you. Featured snippets was one of the steps that I gave you on a previous episode of how to get ranked on Google quickly. And this was one of the things that I said. And I said, I'm going to have a special episode strictly on that. Well, here this is. But when I said that in that old episode, and I can't remember the number which it was at this point, so I apologize for that. But when I said it, someone asked me a question and they said, is it really possible to get featured? Apparently they've been trying and they have not been able to get featured. See, even though there's no guarantee that your page will be used for a featured snippet, there are some specific steps, guys, that you can take to optimize your pages and increase your chances. Okay. And there's even there's even better news. It doesn't matter if your business is big or small, if it's new or even if it's established. Anyone can land on a feature snippet with just a little bit of focused work. And that's what we're going to talk about today. You got to have some focused work. If you take care of these 5 steps, I can't guarantee it, because with marketing, there's no guarantees, unfortunately. That's the hard thing about my job, guys, is because I can't really guarantee anything. But with these 5 steps, here's one thing I can promise you. With these 5 steps, it's going to definitely increase your chances of landing on a featured snippet. Okay, and then you're just going to watch your traffic skyrocket from there. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go with the 5 tips. These are stuff that we do all day for ourselves and for our customers. So the number one thing is that you want to review your website content. You want to take a look at your website content with an eye for how you may or may not be helping visitors when they peruse your pages. You want to ask questions like, do you provide answers to commonly asked questions, let's say? That's why FAQs is an important thing on a website, by the way. Do you have, say, detailed content that informs readers instead of just persuading them to buy? Okay. A lot of websites, unfortunately, when I go to them, it's just pushing them and selling your services. But are you delivering content that informs the readers about you, or informs them about something that's maybe a hot topic? But it just can't be about buy, if you know what I'm saying. So if you do, then you've got a good foundation to start with. Okay. And if you don't, then my next tip is even more critical. Okay. So tip number 2 is make a list of questions to answer. So it's even more critical if you don't have that. So number 2, you're going to make a list of questions to answer. So even if you do have, think about some other things that you may not have thought of prior to listening to this episode. Okay. So no matter what your website content looks like currently, this tip basically is critical to increasing your chances of landing a feature snippet. Spend time in the shoes of your potential customers. I say that a lot. You got to put yourself in your potential customers' shoes. Okay. What kinds of questions do they need answers to? What advice can you provide? What or how-tos or steps or definitions you can offer. You got to come up with as many questions as possible. Dig deep, okay? Because if you're in business for a long time, you probably already know these questions already because you probably get a lot of them. You just got to sit down and hunker down and get them. Yeah. Then once you've done that, now you're ready to move to tip number 3. Answer them clearly and concisely. So you've got your list of questions. Look at your existing content and polish it up so that it answers them clearly and concisely. Or if you don't have content that answers these questions, it's time to start writing. So as an example, if you own a pest control company, I rarely use those as examples. And, a lot of times people have been accusing me of always using, home improvement companies and attorneys and dentists because I work with a lot of them. But let me use another company as an example this time, like pest control. I do have 1 or 2 of those. So let's use them. You want to, if you want to do them as an example, you want to create a blog post that answers one of your questions. Like, how can I tell if I have bed bugs, right? How do I have cobwebs in my, why do I have cobwebs in my basement? So providing a short, specific response to these types of questions increases your chances of getting featured. Okay. So number 4 tip. I hope that makes sense to you, by the way. Number 4 tip. Say it better and say it with keywords. Here's what I mean. You want to make sure that you incorporate relevant and competitive keywords into the text that you'd like to have featured. You want to take a look at what your competitors are saying and create a better, more specific snippet. Okay? Make every word count, guys. You got to make every word count. In other words, you can't have general stuff or meaningless words like good and great or better. You got to make every word count. So another good quick tip was use heading 2 and 3 tags. Okay, so if you know what I'm talking about, the heading 2 and 3 tags. Okay, those are just the tags that people use for the headings within your WordPress blog or whatever website you're using. So this small addition, guys, is going to help any search engine, whether it's Google, Bing, I don't care what it is, identify relevant information within your broader content. So, you can't use generalities, okay? You want to get rid of those. So this is a tough one to describe, but it's a key piece, and this is I'm welcome to as many questions as you want about this, especially if you want to hit on number 4, because I know it's very tricky, but this is a key. Once you have 1, 2, and 3 set up, 4 is very key. Okay, so I don't want you to mess with that. Call us, send us an email or whatever, and we'll help you out. Let me just take that nice sip of water. Okay. So I hope you get that, right? So you got to be concise, you got to be relevant, and you got to have all the keywords using heading 2 and 3 tags. Okay. That's very important. The tags that you use. Okay. Now, number 5, last but definitely not least, you want to create summaries or lists. Summarize longer content into short paragraphs, bullet lists, or steps, and place this summary at the top of your content. As an example, here's what I mean. If you've got a lengthy how-to on how to, remove wine from the carpet. Okay. Like, let's say your carpet cleaning company, you want to say how to remove wine from the carpet, right? You want to consolidate the steps, one sentence each, at the top of your article to increase your chance of getting featured snippet. Okay. And make sure you use heading 2 and 3 tags for each step. Okay, that's key. Just like I said in step 4. Then when the reader wants to learn more, he or she is going to click to the link, and then they're going to see your full article. Bam! You just got traffic to your website. You see what I'm saying? So those are the 5 steps. Okay. Now, another question that people have asked is, before I go into another question, let me just review those 5 steps again, okay? Because I don't want us to miss this concept. Step number 1, or tip number 1, excuse me, is you want to review your website content, okay? Make sure that it answers questions. Number 2, you want to make a list of questions to answer, especially if you notice that you don't answer questions on your content. Number 3, you want to answer them clearly and concisely. Number 4, you want to say it better and say it with keywords. That's very key. Make sure you use H2, heading to H2 and 3 tags. Just call it H. I keep saying heading because I want people to understand what I mean by H2 and H3. You may not know, but heading 2 and heading 3 you may know. That's why I said it that way. And number 5, you want to create summaries or lists. Make it quick, concise. Even if it's a long article, make sure that is in the top. The lists are in the top. You'll probably get picked up. So the question that people ask is, when will my snippet get featured? Because people have actually done this before. I actually had one of them. It's funny. A competitor of mine, not a competitor, but it's someone who used to work for a competitor of mine, had trouble with this. And then we showed them a little trick, and now they're doing it now a lot better. And, they've asked that question, when will my snippet get featured? Because it doesn't happen. Well, as I said before, guys, there's no guarantee that your content will be featured. Right? There's no guarantee in marketing. That's a known fact. However, if you use the tips that we talked about earlier, those 5 that I just laid out, you will get closer than you are today. Definitely. And it's definitely worth the effort, because once you do, then it's hard to get it off. Okay. If after some time you find that your content isn't working, don't be afraid to change it up. Okay. If you're answering the right questions, your likelihood of snagging a featured snippet will increase. So what's the key here, guys? What do I always say about SEO and every type of marketing? What's the key thing? It's all about research. If you do the right research, guys, all of this is going to help. You're going to have all of the answers already done. Okay? So that's the key. Research. If you do the right research, you will get picked up. What are the questions that your potential customers are asking? What are they? And then make sure that you answer them on your website, and make sure you use these strategies to make to when you write it on the blog post correctly, you get featured on the snippet. And that's guaranteed traffic, my friends. So that's about it for this episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses. As I know this was a short one, short and sweet, but it's very powerful. I want you guys to start doing it. I want you guys to start, implementing, of course. And if you have any questions while you're implementing, you know how to reach us, guys. 888-416-7752. Or you can send us an email at info@lbmsllc.com. Okay, I'm willing to help you guys. I'm hearing, a lot of good things about some things that you guys are doing. Bravo for that. But we're here to help all the time. If you need to slide into our DMs and do it on Facebook or Instagram, you guys have the links of how to get us, or even on LinkedIn. Okay, a lot of my listeners are from LinkedIn. So if there's any questions, just hit us up, even on LinkedIn. Social media is fine as well. Doesn't have to be the number. It doesn't have to be the email. Okay. So with that said, folks, I am going to bid farewell to this episode. I hope you enjoyed this content. Go out there, rock and roll. I want to see a lot of featured snippets out there of you guys. So until the next episode, you have a great day. Take care and bye for now. Peace out, everyone.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Solutions for Local Businesses, the podcast where you will discover all the latest and greatest digital marketing tools, tips, and strategies you will need to implement in order to stay ahead of your competition. Don't forget, any links that were mentioned during the broadcast will be available to you in the show notes, so be sure to grab them while you have the chance. Incidentally, if you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss on the show, be sure to send an email to the email provided in the show notes, or click the Contact Us link and let us know what topic you would like us to help you with, and we'll be sure to add it to our schedule. If you would like for Frank and his team to look at your digital marketing presence and give you a free evaluation, simply click the Request a Free Consultation link in the show notes to get a hold of them. That being said, until our next episode, make it a successful digital marketing day. Peace out.